Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to this video where we are going to have a look at the state of the world. Where are we at this particular moment in history and in time? Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, sharing and donating to my channel. It's much appreciated. I'm very grateful for that, and I hope that you will take some inspiration with you from my videos here and try to perhaps integrate some of that in your own lives. We must remember that if we want change in the world, we must be change ourselves. And at this particular time, we have Pluto, Mars and the Sun in Capricorn. We have Mercury and Venus in Sagittarius. We have Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, and Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. So remember to check out the planet series down below if you want to have more information on these particular planets and the houses where they rule, and in relation to that also the zodiac sign energies. So let's begin this reading by pulling some cards to have a headline on what's going on. What is going on right now? What seems to be the focus point for humankind? What seems to be we have one card out. Let's see if there are other cards coming out here. Okay. We have this card coming out, a box of chocolates, and this card is talking about expansion and just loving it. Expansion awaits, and it is now up to us how we want to dive deeper into this. Of course, this is about our heart, which is the most important organ that we have in our bodies. And therefore we respond a lot to rhythm right now. I feel very much that this is, there's a focus point here to the frequency of the universe, where we are much more coming into alignment with that, and with that also opening up our awareness to see things in a bigger picture, to understand humankind in the bigger picture, that we are part of a universe, that we're not alone. So this can be rather, sometimes we know that chocolate can be sweet, sometimes chocolate can be bitter. This is really just about tasting it and just love what's coming out here. Let's put it up here. So expansion awaits. It's time for us to open our hearts and begin perhaps to feel and understand at the same time what life is all about, really. So let's pull an awareness card to see how we can tune into this heart frequency, this heartbeat of the universe. Feel very much here that this is pointing back to the womb of the universe, where it all began. That the word, in the beginning there was the word, that the word perhaps is more like a frequency. So let's see what card is coming out when we're asking about how we're tuning into this. We have 3 cards coming out. We need to focus right now. Again, the compass here. What's above, as above, so below. But this is very much also, this is talking about the wheel of life. Times are changing right now. It's very important that we align ourselves with the higher heart. Okay? So, next card out is nurturing thyself, which means that whether it's about doing yoga, meditation, being out in nature, intense listening to music, whatever it may be, writing, painting, also through nutrition, of course, what is our understanding of nurturing ourselves, because that will also bring us back into these vibrations. So through nurturing and caring for ourselves, we will know what this is all about, what this frequency or vibration is really all about. That's tuning into the colors of light. We will see all the colors of light here. We will understand much more about ourselves. Last card out here is Masters of Mediumship, because that is actually what we all, where we all have the opportunity to be mediums and to learn from other mediums that were before us. What did they do? How did they meditate? Or what kind of information did they receive? And how did they share that information with us so that we can evolve from there? So this is very much about tuning into the heart here, the higher heart, to tune into electrical impulses, to tune into colors, to really become true mediumships of our own lives. And we must remember that right now there is a focus point on our minds, okay? So everything that is going on in our minds, maybe it's thoughts, maybe it's just words coming up, maybe it's music, it can be many things. But by listening to what's going on there, to sit down and connect with that, fully aware of that is actually what we are doing. So this means also to take a break now and then in our everyday lives, to tune into this, even if you're at work, you know, perhaps you can have a small break where you're going to the toilet, just to be with yourself for a couple of minutes, just to tune in. That's really important right now, that we hold that frequency. And this is also telling me that, of course, much more people right now on planet Earth are beginning to wake up. They are beginning to ask questions, are beginning to take different actions on things. And all that will lead us to a much more aligned frequency with the original, you can also say the matrix of the universe. So let's pull some more cards to see what's coming out here. What's coming out here? And I also hear that right now we can resolve things through being soft. It is actually possible. So let's see what's more is coming out here. What else is coming out here? Okay. We have two cards out here. Wait, yes, just like the two hearts over here we're talking about. It's not yet time. Expansion awaits. But some stuff just needs to happen before it all can take place. Okay, it's not yet time. Things are being woven. So we are expecting things now. We are waiting for things to come in here. We are right now mingling with the circle of life and starting to be beginning to be more aware of what that is all about. But there are still some answers that need to come in here. We have perspective, none of this matters, zoom out, common ground. Okay, and with common ground here, the way it speaks to me is really about that we are not alone in this, that we are actually united, that we are all at the same. We have chosen to come here to Earth at this particular time, which means that we are all in the same boat. Okay, we're all on the same planet. So there is a higher purpose with being here right now. And that's what's coming to light. That is what we are beginning to understand. We need to see the bigger picture. We need to understand that not only are we a human species here on Earth, there are also other species out there. We're just one little puzzle in the bigger picture. So we need to understand, we need to zoom out, we need to be more aware where we are at, and also actually quite tangibly the Earth's position in the universe, in our galaxy. What role is the Earth playing here? So let's find out what's going on with the plasma right now. What kind of information is it that's coming in to heighten our frequencies right now, to support us in beginning to understand why we're here and that we are all co-creators of what we experience right now, and that these frequencies and energies we are creating are actually being sent out, beamed out from Earth to other civilizations. So let's see what's going on with the plasma right now. What kind of information is it that the sun is beaming to us right now? We must remember that the sun is our star. Some call it God. So let's see what's coming out from the sun right now. Only one card came out from this card deck, so Holy Grail. Holy moly, I could almost say. This is about inner discovery, finding sacredness. You are what you seek. Exactly. We are also co-creators, and we must not forget that. So we are holding here the cup, the Holy Grail. And many people are discussing what the Holy Grail is really all about. But this is really about taking care of something that means a lot to us. An inner discovery also means that new DNA strings perhaps are opening up to us, new memories. You can also say that, even though we always assume that memories is also something that is back in time, but maybe it can also be something that is reaching out in the future. There is something that is moving way back, which is at the same time pointing to something that is moving forward. I feel very much here that past and future and all of it is just really mixed in this cup, and that what really is the most important thing to remember here is that we are what we seek. We already hold the information. We already hold these mysteries that we are so eager to travel around the world to find. We must remember that we already consist of that kind of mysteries. So remember that also if you are journeying in your life right now to see different places and seeking different information, or if you are very much connected to Google and to your local library, that you're always on the run to seek more. Of course, we should absolutely do that if something speaks to us, to find more information about that. But right now, we are being given a major reminder that through nurturing ourselves, our mind, body, and souls, we are our own mediumships. Okay, we are co-creators of life, just through the way that we have arrived here with our light here on earth, with our own personal sacredness, if you wish. So it's about finding the original, coming back to ourselves, not to let our energy just go astray, but taking it all back to ourselves. That is actually what Pluto is reminding us of in Capricorn, to take back our own authority. You can give a lot away with Pluto. You can say, I don't care, I don't want to and you can say, yes, I really want to take my power back to myself. And through Capricorn energies, this is about authority and discipline and sincerity, and being sincere, but also being serious, and taking much more responsibility for our own lives. So let's see what else is going on a higher level. What is it that is being born right now, of what seems to be the focus point? If we just levitate a little bit more here, going out of our minds, stepping behind our minds, coming out of our thinking patterns, what is it that we are connected to right now? Something that we seem to become much more aware of or conscious. Card number 14, going beyond normal. Okay, so that actually seems to be what's going on here. Things are being knit together, and we have the Wheel of Fortune here is what's coming to my mind, but also the compass, to remember, perhaps even the clock, time, Saturn, back to Capricorn energies, talking about karmic release. At this point when we're in Capricorn, always when we have something to do with Capricorn or the sister sign of Capricorn, which is Cancer, we always have a sort of a karmic reset or karmic release. So we are going beyond normal here, and she's looking up to this perspective here. We are going beyond normal right now with whatever it is that we are being connected to right now. We have not been here for many thousand years, perhaps, if ever. So this is extremely new to humankind to be at this point in history. And we are opening up to something quite extreme, quite unique actually, because right now it seems that we are ready to begin to access more wisdom, which is actually coming from within, and we're beginning to understand that through looking deeper into ourselves here, we can much more easily connect with what is above, what is beyond. And it's like we have the light coming in here with our minds. It's like I'm being shown Uranus and Aquarius, which are about the future and also awakening, changing our direction and doing things more authentic. It's like we're becoming real human beings here. So, and this is also about seeing things in a bigger perspective. That is also Uranus energies. So I feel that when Pluto in a few days will be completely in Aquarius for the next 22 years approximately, that's where we are beginning to see this shift. So I feel very much that this is Pluto energies that are waiting to be released. And also Pluto is about this deep volcano that sometimes can explode so that it will transform everything around us. So we are waiting for that bigger explosion. So hold on and see what's going to go down on January 22nd, because great stuff will be released. I have no doubt about that. So that's where the waiting perhaps will be over, and perhaps we will we will begin to feel this shift. Maybe not fully, but definitely it will begin at that point. That's what I'm sensing here. So let's see what the astrology has for us. Let's have a look into the astrology. And okay, there are 2 planet cards coming out. And that's how we are actually showing up right now as humankind. Saturn, just as I mentioned before, this is about time. The wheel is changing, the wheel of time is changing. And we have Mercury, the small traveler, over here. So have a look at the planet series down below if you want to have more information about these two planets. But that's how we're showing up right now. We are taking more responsibility. We are starting to take different action on things, and through that releasing karmic energies, which Pluto is also, what Pluto is also showing us is these deep incarnation patterns where we have taken the same kind of action to perhaps through in our entire life. And when we're changing that, when we start to recognize or see what these incarnation patterns are all about, we can start to make different approaches to them. That's what Saturn is all about. That's when we have changed our karma. And when we are doing that, we will slightly begin to see our dharma and follow up on our life path. That's what it means. So we are right now in changing times where we are beginning to wake up to new information, new learning, new approaches on things. And also, I'll just show the card what it's about. Communication, writing, talking, and traveling. Okay. So this is also very important at this time. That we have a focus again on communication and what it means to communicate. What is communication? Could it be something different? With Mercury in its ruling signs, I should say, of Gemini and Virgo, Mercury can actually have this kind of mediumship within it. It's holding those energies, those mediumship energies. So we're taking much more responsibility for that right now, how we communicate, how we meet each other, and also that we want to learn something more about our life purpose, which is also what Saturn is talking about. Maybe it's our job and career, maybe you want to have another look at that. Is that really something that communicates with who you truly are, with your life purpose? How far have you come? Maybe we're making some kind of status in our lives right now. We're seeing how far have we come. And so Saturn is also the last visible planet with the naked eye here, seen here from Earth, or when we are looking out in space here from Earth. So this is also talking about limits and being a little bit more rigid with things. What we see is what we have. Everything is completely known to us. But right now, with Pluto moving into Aquarius, we are moving into the unknown. We are meeting up with the first of the outer planets, and that is Uranus. So right now we want to make sure that we have learned absolutely everything we can. Saturn in the chart always points out to us what still needs care, what we need still to learn, where we have not yet taken full responsibility of our lives. And that's what we are doing right now. We're taking responsibility on how we are communicating with each other, how we are, and also about new learning. What are we taking in to connect with the higher mind or the higher heart? It's like we're leveling up right now through making discoveries in our own light, in our own plasma, through going within. Okay, so it's very much going back to the core of it all. We must remember that we are electrical beings, and that's also what Aquarius is all about. So pay attention to your nervous system, which will change. because the nervous system is what Aquarius is all about. Metabolism also, so pay attention to that as well, because right now we are ready to go beyond, but first of all we want to make sure that we have learned absolutely everything that Saturn is pointing out to us. So have a look at Saturn in your chart, extremely important at this moment, and also find your Mercury and let these two energies speak to each other. What kind of zodiac signs are these planets showing up in your chart? In which life areas, okay? Then you will have a much more personal overview of where this might be important to you. And then we have a zodiac sign out as well. So this is talking about the energies that we are surrounded by right now. And here we have Scorpio, the magician, Mr. Fear, I would like to call him this, or Miss Fear. This is really where we are going deep undercover. This is about also lies, betrays, what lies underneath. At the same time, we also have Pluto ruling here. So Pluto is taking us way down into the most unknown parts of ourselves, known as the subconscious. So talking about anxiety, fears, perhaps something that we don't want to look at, or something that we cannot see yet, something that is very obscure. But Pluto is really also the planet who is promising us that when we dare or have the courage to face our fears, we will be revitalized, we will be regenerated, we will be reborn. Okay, we will be like the phoenix rising. This is resurrection. So we definitely have the possibility right now, here on this water planet, since Scorpio is pointing to the water element, here on this water planet, we have the ability right now to resurrect, to be reborn through major destruction, through major learning on how to communicate with the original pulse, with the original pulse of the universe. We really have that possibility right now. Scorpio is also the magician. This is where magic in life just happens, because out of chaos and conflict and destruction, new times are being prepared actually. Don't we know that from our own lives sometimes, that when we are in deep crisis or in deep conflicts, all of a sudden there is a solution showing up out of the blue. We cannot explain it. That's what Scorpio is also all about. Very magical times we're in at this point. So of course also a confirmation on what I was mentioning in the beginning of the reading with Capricorn energies and Pluto visiting Capricorn. So this is really where we need to understand right now that there are deeper learnings, that there are deeper communication coming in here that we need to take responsibility for. So let's go a little bit more cosmic here and see what kind of group or cosmic energy we have the possibility and the ability to communicate with at this certain point. Whom or what is speaking to us at this point? We have card number 11 out, the Lyrans. So this is talking about strength and courage and bravery, okay? So we are not doing this alone. In fact, we are never alone in the universe. And we can lean against our cosmic brothers and sisters out there. When we say that it's all about aliens, well, maybe it's perhaps just talking about us in the future. So this is really also a reference to the cat people, if you can see this face and this being. This is a reference to Leo. It's always what's coming up in my readings when I pull this card, because this is talking about courage and strength and bravery. It's exactly what the zodiac sign of Leo is talking about. So they're coming in now to assist us finding courage, and bravery and the strength to really move through this. So this is also very much talking about respect and honor and being affectionate, being proud and bold, also very much linked to the zodiac sign of Leo. So have a closer look at where you have your Leo in your chart. And let's have a quick look in this book, Mystic Martian Oracle, made by Lisa Porter, to see what else this Lyran civilization can show us. I will just read a few lines from this book. So this is about the feline Lyrans that sometimes are being referred to as lion people or cat people. The Lyran civilization originates from the North Lyra constellation, which also contains Vega. So don't forget to go out during night time to look up in the sky, whenever there are no clouds, of course, and see if you can find Vega and meditate on that. Perhaps that's how you wish to nurture yourself. It's really going out there during nighttime to align with that, to try to understand what's coming in. And I'll just read a little bit more here. The Lyran genotype was often the dominant original mother genotype used in ancient starseed projects of cosmos, as they are one of the oldest bloodlines in the Milky Way galaxy. Many ETs within the Milky Way galaxy are ancestrally related to the ancient Lyrans. They usually stand 6 to 10 feet tall and are solid to muscular in build. Their complexions vary anywhere from light golden amber to darker chocolate brown hues. Some Lyrans have strawberry blonde to vibrant ginger red hair. The darker Lyrans have dark to black hair. Lyran flesh is covered in a light, soft type of fuzz, not actual fur. They have feline type eyes and slightly pointed ears set higher on their heads. The Lyrans have battled many bloody cosmic wars in the past with the Orion, Alpha, Draconian, Reptilian empires. Lyrans live a harmonious lifestyle and practice careful biodiversity of their ecosystem. Prior to the Egyptian pyramids ever being built, the ancient Egyptian Sphinx was built by the Lyrans and other visitors of the time during the Leo 2000-year constellation time phase of the precession of the equinoxes. Lyrans do not suffer fools gladly and are an honest, open, bold and proud race. They are known to be combative, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that word correctly, and fiery for matters they value dearly, while also being warm and affectionate. So that's just to mention a little bit about this group, and if you want to know more about it, absolutely you should dive more into that. I find it extremely important to underline that I think that what's going on as ufology is really also science, is also really religion and beliefs all mixed together. We need to understand that we're not alone in the universe, and when we begin to open up to that, we will begin to change our way of understanding things, perhaps with Mercury very logically, going from A to B to C. We will try to take in the bigger picture on that, on how we were raised to understand the structure, back to Saturn, the structure of our society, structure of our civilization. It will all change when we learn more about that. So I feel that there's also an underlining of that from the Lyrans right now, coming in to assist us on trying to understand how it all began, back to the Sphinx, back to the pyramids, back to old buildings in general on the earth, that we need to understand more about their history, that it's way older than first believed, and whatever that we've been taught about that in school may not hold the truth, maybe just a small part of the truth, maybe there's no truth in it at all. So that will change when we are changing our compass, when we are being much more focused on tuning into higher energies, or what we call higher energies, but it's really just energies out there in space that we are connecting with. So let's see what it is that we are karmically releasing right now on Earth. What is it, if we can have another headline on that, what's going on with this karmic release? Is there some kind of theme that we are very focused on right now? But we are definitely becoming much more aware of that. We also hold the responsibility for what's going on, not only in our own lives, but also in the collective. Scribe or writer, that's what seems to be, I feel that's linking very much to Mercury. We are rewriting history. It goes perfectly well with Leo. Also when Pluto is moving into Aquarius and the Sun is moving into Aquarius very soon, we will have a full moon. The next full moon will be in the sister sign of Aquarius, which is exactly Leo. So we are rewriting history right now. We are rewriting the entire existence of our civilization. Every time we have a full moon in Leo, it's very strong because this is where the Sun reigns. It reigns in the 5th house of the zodiac, where we have Leo energies. So this is a major reset going on. And with Pluto just moving into Aquarius a couple of days after the Sun, these are very strong energies that will change things forever. We will never come back to this kind of civilization. That is also what Pluto is promising us, that we will never have to face these times ever again. Now it's important that we come into tune with ourselves, with the universe, with the pulse of it all, where it all began, back to the original core, back to the core of it all. When we do that, we can rewrite history, and we can begin to understand that, wow, magical things can really happen when we take this responsibility upon us, being mediumships, okay? As well as working with the divine, and maybe the divine, maybe it's people in the future, from the future coming in from other planets and galaxies and universes, and that's what we're beginning to understand. That may be the entire mystery that has been, where we have been lied to, where there's been cheating on humankind through the structure, back to Saturn, of society. The way we're brought up to understand everything so completely limitful, logically. So we can rewrite it all right now, if we wish to, of course. It calls for a lot of strength, it calls for a lot of bravery, but we can rewrite it. Let's pull some tarot cards to end this reading and see where it's pointing, perhaps to some specific areas of our lives. First of all, we have Knight of Swords. Exactly, we need to be focused right now. Let's put it over here, because the Knight of Swords is someone who is, well, first of all, it's pointing to all the air zodiac signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So again, back to Aquarius in particular, I feel here. But Knight of Swords, he's a feisty guy. He knows what he's going for. When he has an idea, or he gets it, like it feels like when he's getting it all just right, when he gets an idea, or there's coming in an impulse through a thought, music, words, he's following through on that, and he can become quite hostile. Okay, so we really need to fight for this, even though this is about communication, yes, but I feel this is about strong communication. We really need to put strength behind our words, and we need to fight for it. And I don't mean through violence, I mean through being firm, like the fixed dynamics we find in Aquarius, that we in Aquarius, we have a great psychological understanding of things as well. And we need to stand our ground and say, well, this is exactly what I think. This is exactly my visions. We're becoming visionaries in Aquarius, okay? And we're following through on that. We're saying, well, this is how I see it, okay? So that's the direction I'm moving into. So we really need to be fierce right now. Then we have justice in reverse. Yes, there is something that we need to, there's something that needs to come back into balance. This is about disharmony and also about prejudice, perhaps. There's something unjust in the world that needs correction. And I feel very strongly that that will happen through the next full moon. Of course, if you watch this video on a different date, of course this could hold information for you in your life right now. Perhaps that's why you come across it here on YouTube, so go with that as well. But there is something here that needs to be corrected, because there's a lot of unjust behavior that's been going on here, causing these or caused by perhaps these prejudices, or the other way around. Okay, again, back to what is awareness really? How does our mind work really? Are we really not here just to become master mediums? Is that really the reason we're here? What is awareness? What is consciousness? Is consciousness something outside of ourselves, or is it within? Or is it just absolutely everywhere? That's what it's all about. We need to start to visualize something, or go with our visualizations here, whatever is coming in, our visions, very important, and also intentions. And so when we get some kind of aha moments through Aquarius, we will start to see the bigger picture. We will be awakened. We will change our direction, and it will come quite fast, since Aquarius is a masculine energy. Leo, fire sign, also masculine energy with fixed energies. So we need to stand our ground here. When we start to see something new through our mind, we need to go with that. King of Pentacles is coming in here, and I feel very much that that's actually a reference back to Saturn. Let's put him up over here. Because we see here now that the sun is rising. How beautifully is that really with Leo here? The sun is rising perhaps through the next full moon, and then it will be a progress. And King of Pentacles is talking about taking more charge of our own lives, the structure of our lives, pointing very much to our finances, job and careers, perhaps our accommodation situation as well, our home, how do we live, how do we go around our lives on an everyday life basis, what is the rhythm, what is the structure of our lives, how do we get around holding up through our everyday lives. The sun is rising now, we can see that. And back to Capricorn energies, the mountain that Pluto has been climbing through moving through Capricorn. It's moving up and now it's coming down. Now we are beginning to see the bigger picture. We begin to understand what the last 15 or 16 years with Pluto in Capricorn has been all about. It's about destruction. It's about closing up on old civilization, old structures, old responsibilities. There's something new coming in here, Aquarius, focusing on the future. So everything that's been destroyed in our lives, either through our private economy or perhaps with our job lives, whatever it may be. Maybe you have been moving around like 100 times and not seeing the bigger picture of that because it has made absolutely no sense. Well, right now we are beginning to see new light on the horizon. We're beginning to understand. Everything is coming into light here. Everything, coming into light so that we can see and understand why why we had to move through these difficult times, because with Capricorn and Saturn energies pointing back to the earth element, this is really where we are feeling it. It's tangible energies. It will show up. It's about reality. So right now we see the light in our waters, in our feelings, our intuition, our soul. We can call it many things. We will see that now, the light. We will start to come out of the shadow sides with Pluto here. With the next full moon, perhaps upside down here, we will feel that release and disclosure is coming out. That's what's going on when we have a full moon. It will land, boom, here on earth to rectify what has been unjust. Okay, we are rewriting a lot of stuff right now in our structures back to Saturn. So I cannot underline enough how important it is that we find out what Saturn in our charts is all about right now. Because when we start on an individual level to understand that, that is what we're beaming out in the collective, assisting others to begin to understand their life purpose and taking much more responsibility for ourselves. Okay, so that's what I had for you in this reading. I hope that you've been inspired to perhaps dive deeper in all of this. If you have any comments or questions, please put them down below and I will have a look at that. Also, if you find that there are themes going on in the world that could be very interesting to have a closer look at, I'm definitely open to doing videos on that as well. So please put that in the comment section down below as well. And then I just want to say thank you so much for joining me here today. And I will just say namaste, salome, hallelujah, and amen. And with those peaceful words, I hope that you will have some great times ahead of you where we can start to rewrite history here on Earth together. Thank you so much, and bye for now.